Yeah, it is another episode of the Autumn Windbags. RJ Clifford wants Soto. Let's have some fun today. No, I'm not constipated. That's not why my face is red. It was, I never ever learn that even though it's overcast, you can still get sunburnt. It's happened to me 20
And you're
times.
white.
At dozens of times in my life. I'm like, oh no, this is a marine layer. There's some clouds. I'm not gonna get sunburnt because, like, logically, it doesn't make sense, even though I know what happens. So yeah, I've had about 9 gallons of aloe vera applied to my face for the last 4 days.
And you're white.
Well, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you can't forget that. That's like the foundation of it all.
Sometimes I forget. Sometimes like, oh yeah, I'm Eastern Polynesian. Oh wait, no. Thick English blood runs through these veins. 87 days until Raiders opening day. We're now in tight end numbers, wide receiver numbers. Getting closer and closer. OTAs end. You'll be listening to this on Thursday. It'll end today on Thursday. And then it's a barren wasteland. Nothing until training camp. So, but we'll still count down. That's how we're going to get through this time. This is how we get through the drought, is by thinking about how close the oasis is.
This is like probably the worst time for coaches and like executives in the NFL because they have no control over the players whatsoever. They just go out. This is like the time where they give the speech every single year. Don't be that
smart
guy. Be smart. Get a driver. Know who you're with. Make smart decisions. We're all counting on you. This and that. Blah blah blah. This is
they have those little testers that let you know if it's fentanyl.
and someone tends to freaking screw up every single. I mean, and not just
check her ID.
About
just because she has cigarettes, it doesn't mean she's 18.
I'm not talking screw up. I'm talking like Reishi Rice, 5 park pass, 5 felonies, and 1 occurrence screw up. Like there's always at least one major. There's going to be at least 3 domestic freaking violence things happening. What do you think? What's the over under?
And that's just the Chiefs.
Yeah, what's the over under on it for this next 6 weeks?
Well,
I'd say 3. 3 is the 3.5. 3
it's the best and worst time because it's really the only like off season for like coaches, scouts, executives. Like, I always joke that there really is no off season in the NFL because they got so good at just like spacing everything out just enough so that 365 there's NFL talk. Like this next like 6 weeks is the only time. 4 weeks, really. They gotta like get back and start preparing. It's their only vacation for like the vast majority of them. But that's why it's like also the only time where players are like off the leash and ready to go. So it's like the best and worst time.
I don't know what more the NFL can do to protect players from themselves. I really don't. And it's a really it's a nerve-wracking time for me. Like I don't want another freaking Ruggs situation to happen, even nothing even close to that. And this if it's gonna happen, chances are it's gonna happen during this next 6 weeks or so.
You're probably better off, instead of trying to control the players, just pay off all the hookers and strippers in Mexico. Just be like, look, here's an extra $1,000. You guys are officially chaperones, drivers, nurses.
They don't want to do all that.
Take care of our boys.
You seen those videos? You seen those videos when the guy goes up to a freaking prostitute and it's like, hey, how much? It's like $150. What do you do for $150? Anything. All right, wash my truck. She's like, I ain't washing your truck.
What was the video where it's like, for $150, will you tell me can I go on a road trip and you don't try to tell me how to drive one time? Like, that's $250.
Oh, that's $250.
That's $250.
Win an argument, like she had a menu, like win an argument, $50.
Yeah.
Her to tell me that you're right, $150.
Tell me my dad's proud of me.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, if anyone goes on vacation the next 4 weeks, if you go to any like 5-star resort in Mexico, you're gonna run into like half a dozen players. Like they're out and about. Keep your shit together. All right. I don't
Because
want to
there's two types of players. There's players that go with their families, and there's players that go in packs.
Mm-hmm.
But they're everyone brings their boys. So there's like 20 dudes.
Yeah, it's like the whole DB room, heads
Those
to
are
the same
wildest
spot.
ones too.
Yeah.
Like the craziest people, like the weirdest guys are like the kickers and then the offensive linemen. But the wildest ones are the DBs for sure.
The kickers and punters, they never get in trouble. They're the ones that are just caught in like a bondage video with a ball gag in their mouth. Yeah, you're just doing. Yeah, well, yeah. The quarterbacks never get in trouble. The line never get in trouble. But yeah, the DBs are wild. The receivers are wild.
Wasn't Dont'e Culpepper on that Vikings ship? On that houseboat?
Is the whole team, right?
I think it was most of the team, but I think Dont'e Culpepper was on there.
Like you really have to be rolling deep for a quarterback to get in trouble. They got to be peer pressured, It's like, no, it's the team engagement meeting. We're all here being friends and bonding over lines of blow.
Off of strippers'
dozens of
cheeks.
boobies.
It's like there's a sign saying, "This is Dont'e Culpepper's houseboat. This is Dont'e Culpepper's bag, baby."
Just giant neon sign. Who's least likely to get rolled from the Raiders? If you're like, all right, this guy got caught.
Farva.
Oh, yeah.
That's number one, least likely. I mean, the most likely to get rolled for something funny is probably JPJ.
Right? Like, remember when he
out and like knock somebody over? Like, oops.
Well, on the Rush podcast, remember he was just like, yeah. So like Geno, like he called me as soon as he came out, like saw, and he's like, hey, let's go over blocking assignments and stuff like that. He's like, oh, that's like dirty talk to a center, and he flew me out to like St. Petersburg, went to like Miami. That was an experience, and then he just like went right past it. And like, oh my god, just that little part right there. That's a whole podcast I want to hear about. Like Jackson, walk me through your weekend in Miami with Geno Smith from your perspective.
Hey man,
corn-fed Utah white boy, just hitting South Beach with NFL quarterback money. Like what did he see for the first time? Just
big and freaking big smile on his face. I have a challenge for you. Next time you go to Vegas, you gotta eat a Jack's burger.
I don't know if I can finish it.
It's huge, dude. Have you seen that thing?
Well, I was going to say, like, I don't know what it is, but if it's named after Jackson Powers Johnson, I don't think I'm going to get through it without a corn.
Please. Checking.
Roger, checking. Where's it at?
I'm checking right now for you.
He got a burger quick, man. Like, there was some
big Jack. Well, because he had one in Oregon. That's why. It's at Barcode Burgers in Las Vegas. Let's see. Here's a breakdown. Description: a massive burger with a 6-ounce house burger blend, Gouda mac bites. Okay, so it's mac and cheese in it, melted pepper jack cheese, more cheese, a giant onion ring. I like it so far. Applewood smoked bacon, yes. Bacon aioli spread, yes. Blueberry barbecue sauce served on toasted brioche bun. That's doable, dude.
How big is this?
A 6-ounce patty. That's doable. The mac and cheese, and then more cheese, and then an onion ring and bacon. And that's doable, dude. You can do that.
I mean, I wish there was something there for perspective, like how big it is. Like there's like a ruler next to it.
Dude, you're definitely your blood's gonna thicken up a little bit, but I mean, you can finish it.
I mean, if this is Jackson Powers Johnson's hand, this burger's probably enormous.
That freaking thing. Look,
this is an iPhone 16, like the large one. I don't know. I need some perspective on it.
I got faith in you, dude. You can finish that. You eat more than me, dude. You can do that.
It's not, again, now that we're like over 40, same thing with spicy food.
I can't eat anymore, dude. I can't.
It's not the going in I'm concerned about. It's the exit strategy that I have to plan my whole life around. If I
don't know what it is. I used to be beautiful, man. I used to be like King Korean barbecue. Just freaking plate after plate after plate. Now I just got the acid reflux. Doesn't matter what it is. I just can't physically eat that much anymore. And it's sad.
spicy food and tons of food. I'm still in my prime. Like I don't get acid reflux. Like the guts there. It's the lower intestine that's the problem. Like I would have to clear out my schedule the entire next day. Yeah, like it's just like it doesn't like come out well. It comes out when it
no one wants to
wants.
hear this, dude.
My sphincter shutter speed isn't what
Nobody
it used to
wants
do.
to hear this whatsoever.
You know?
This is people are just dropping off.
And then it's like multiple visits. I can do the going
You
in.
can get on a probiotic, bro. That sounds like a personal issue.
It's like when we invaded Iraq. Like we got in there, right?
Lingered a bit.
Shock and awe, right? Shock and awe, not a problem. It just took 20 years to get out of there, and it was just a mess. And there was a lot of casualties. Like that's me eating at 41.
If I eat a burger like that, I'm gonna have to have an activity where I walk around a lot. Because as soon as I stop and sit down or something, that's it. The blood starts to slow down. You get a little tired. Can't do that.
And it's like breaking the seal when you drink a lot. Like once I go once, it's like, okay, I got another like 3 or 4 coming in the next 2 hours. Like it's just like it's a full afternoon commitment. Not eating it. The other end. So our goals for 2025. Question of the day. We haven't done one in a while. Let us know in the comment section. Realistic goals for our Las Vegas Raiders in this upcoming season. Let us know in the comments. I put it as a question on our what's it called on YouTube? We can just post something. I guess a post.
Poll.
A poll. Well, it wasn't a poll. It wasn't like you vote. It's just like comments. Because it's an interesting time, right? Like we were trash last season, 4 wins. Quarterback was awful. OC was maybe the worst in football. Head coach in over his head. O-line underperforming. Run game was awful. And then all that did a 180. All the primary things did a 180. But the core of the team, there's still a lot of things to work on, right? We lost a lot of starters on defense, but we kept Patrick Graham. And the AFC West isn't getting any worse. Like maybe the Chiefs took a little bit of a step back, but they still went to the Super Bowl after winning it twice, right? Broncos and Chargers aren't getting any worse, right? So there's a lot of moving parts. So Soto, realistic expectations for the Raiders, and it can be win total. It could be a stat of a specific kind. It could be something a little more abstract. Just what are your realistic expectations for this season coming up? Something you want to see out of the Raiders?
I think that a realistic expectation is 10 wins, because not only did we improve in massive areas, there's also going to be a massive influx of talent that didn't play a lot last season, especially on the defensive end is what I'm talking about here. So although we were bad last season, we were in a lot of games until probably the middle of the fourth quarter, and then teams just pulled away on us. And I think Pete Carroll is where, in a perfect world, AP would have gotten to, right? Defensive-minded guy, really good motivator, can connect to players, this and that. So with the experience, we would hope that AP would grow into what Pete Carroll has become. Pete Carroll is already that, right? And you can see right away. I mean, look at freaking what's his name? Colton Miller. He was a guy, I'm not going to OTAs, I'm not going doing anything. And he just had a press conference right now. He's like, I'm all bought in. This is what I do. I bought into Pete Carroll. I'm going to be here every day. And like, dude, that's what a good coach does, is he reaches these guys and he makes everyone comfortable with the situation.
Staring down an extension that he's hoping for. Most guys hold out. He's still here.
I mean, Pete's probably went like, look, if you're in the office, if you're in the room, I can go to bat for you. I can't go to bat for you if you're not here.
Yeah.
And you also have to believe him, and you have to trust that he's going to do that for you. But I mean, that's a huge difference right there. Number one, Pete Carroll coaching this team last season, we would have gotten at least 1 or 2 more wins right there. As far as the defense goes, having a healthy Max Crosby wasn't healthy past week 2. Okay. So you get a healthy Max Crosby, you get a healthy Malcolm Kuntz back, you get a lot of weapons offensively. You get Chip Kelly as an offensive coordinator. These are all massive upgrades. These are not just little upgrades. And then, I mean, Geno Smith is a massive upgrade to who we had last season, the last couple seasons. So these are the three most important. We have identified this already, I mean, seasons ago. The three most important people on the field are your head coach, your offensive coordinator, and your quarterback. And we had massive upgrades at each and every one of those positions. Massive upgrades. So I can see us winning 10 games next season.
I love your optimism. The over/under 7.5. So that's a hefty over. With me, it's a little less kind of win total because again, and we'll get to this as the show goes on. I think this upcoming season is get everything right, start cleaning up the messes of the last several regimes that they've made. That takes time, right? Rebuilding a roster. Hey, maybe it can be done in one season. We'll be doing backflips on this show if that's the case. Usually, unless you're a miracle worker, maybe Spytech is, we'll find out. Takes a couple seasons, right? It feels to me like they're building the roster to be gangbusters in 2 seasons, but we're raising the basement significantly this season, right? So I think 8 wins. I think that 7.5 is probably accurate. I think doubling the win total would be fantastic, right? Go from 4 wins to 8. I think that's good. But to me, it's a little bit less win total and kind of more abstract. Like the biggest thing I want to see is some real good offensive identity. You mentioned all those massive improvements. We went from probably the worst offensive coordinator in football to the highest paid. We'll see if Chip Kelly's the best, but he's certainly paid like he's amazing. Head coach isn't an offensive mind, but he just raises everybody's play. So that just makes the offense better. Geno Smith, like you mentioned, Brock Bowers 1 season better. Ashton Jeanty, right, coming over. Make it all work. That's what I want to see. You have all the pieces. Make it all work, right? That to me is, I think, what's really, really important because a lot of these pieces are going to be there for a while. Geno Smith 3-year deal. Brock is 2nd-year player. Ashton a rookie. Chip Kelly doesn't want to be a head coach. Like these guys could be playing together. They will be playing together for the next 3 years minimum, unless something crazy happens. The next 3 years minimum, all those guys are going to be all together. Let's make it all work. Let's figure out some cohesion. Let's figure out a game plan. It wouldn't be the first time that there's a lot of like playmakers out there and they just couldn't make it work, right? They couldn't feed everybody. They couldn't get the flow right. Whatever, right? Like, I think that's number one for me is the playmakers are there. Let's make that cohesion work.
For sure. And I mean, I think that one of the things that you might be looking over in the improvement for this season is the massive upgrade in coaching, because ultimately all these guys can play football. If you're in the NFL, you can play. There's special players here and there. You could, the top 1 or 2% of each position. Okay, fine. But everyone in the NFL can play. Everyone can. It's about putting them in the right position and making sure they can do things that they do well. These are the guys that can do it. I'm not going to just sit back and say, oh yeah, they're looking for more for 2 years down the line. I think they want to win now, and I think they're trying to win now.
Well, I think they're raising the basement high. I mean, if they were trying to win now, we wouldn't have $36 million in cap, right? Like, I think if they're like, all right, this is, push our chips in the middle, they'd be spending all their cap space, right? But I think they're trying to keep a little for, next year, maybe after that, the big moves, because they haven't taken any other than Geno, which it seemed like he fell in our lap because Pete Carroll, which is awesome, right? Like, it's not like it doesn't count. That's why you get guys like that people like. They want to play here. Geno took basically a pay cut to play on a 4-win team. Like, that's the effect that Pete Carroll has, right? But there's just other than that, there hasn't been any giant free agency moves. But I'm with you. It's not like they're not coaching to half-ass this season. They're coaching to win this season. I think they're GMing with kind of more long-term feel. And let's be honest, like you don't fix depth problems in one season, right? Like all the terrible roster moves by Gruden, by JMD. Last year's draft class was great, but it wasn't like free agency was anything special. Like that takes time. We just don't have depth because we've been terrible on the roster for half a decade, like atrociously bad. And that takes time to get 3 seasons ago, we should have a bunch of pretty solid third, fourth, fifth round picks that have developed and they're ready to contribute or even start. There's not a lot of guys like that because we just didn't draft them or develop them or have enough continuity to do either one of them. So those are the two things. Those are my two biggest reasons why I feel like it's coaching 100% this season, GMing a little bit more long term.
All right.
But I think the offense is ready, personnel wise, outside of O-line, right? Like we got our quarterback, we got our star, we got our best wide receiver, we got obviously our starting running back, we got the best tight end in football. We only need like one of our rookies to pan out, right? We only need one of them to like be a legit starter, and then we got every playmaker, right? Every backup tight end is good. Decent depth at running back, like. Other than O-line help and depth at wide receiver, I think the offense is staffed set like great, shockingly.
Yeah, just put them on the field and let them go. See who the best is, and just stack them from there. I think they addressed everything, and I'm really interested to see how they use Dont'e Thornton, man. This guy. I'm hearing more good things about this guy, and if you play him one-on-one, it's going to be a mismatch because you're not going to put your best corner on Dont'e Thornton. You're going to put him on Brock Bowers. You're going to put him on, Kobe Myers. And if you don't play him properly, like let's say you put a safety over the top, then you have to double Brock Bowers. I mean, it doesn't leave you very much for the other guys. I hate to kind of go down that path of using him as a decoy, but you have to. It's different. It's different than Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker, you didn't have to always have two guys on him because he's 5'9". Dude, freaking Thornton's 6'5" and just as fast. You have to put two guys on him.
If Thornton pans out, right? And we had this conversation a couple weeks ago. It's very rare for like a rookie wide receiver.
If he's not a stiff, if he's an average player at that size, you have to pay attention to him.
If he, like whatever version of pans out you think of, right? This offense is everything. True X, a quarterback that can hit every throw and run, and in his prime, best tight end in football, one of the best backup tight ends in football. The number one, like a generational talent at running back, Jacoby Myers, the most underrated wide receiver in football. Like, and if the line can just not screw it up, what else could you possibly want on your offense?
So, regardless of position, you have 3 mismatches against almost anybody in the league. Brock Bowers is a mismatch. Dont'e Thornton with his size and his speed is a mismatch. Ashton Jeanty coming out of the backfield is a mismatch. You have 3 of them on the same offense. It's very difficult for defenses to take away all 3. They're going to have to disguise it and do a really good job of it. And there's some guys out there who can do it. There's defensive coordinators out there who can really disguise the coverages and fool the quarterback to give the line time or give a blitz time to get home. But every single play, I don't think so.
And you mentioned, like, do you put your best corner on Thornton? It's like, well, even your best corner could be like a 5'10", like super stud who's giving up 7 inches on him, right? Or he could be your best press cover man, but doesn't have the speed to keep up with him, right? So
and
even
Thornton, and Thornton's taller too.
Even like best corner, it's got to be the right corner, Like it's gotta be like if they can't stop him, if they can't press him off the line, if he I think. You would assume that a rookie wide receiver who didn't get that many looks in college probably doesn't have Devontae Adams smoothness off the line yet, right? Like he's probably not going to be smooth off. That's probably where you're going to want to attack him. So there's going to be a lot of press coverage on him. If he can get past that.
We haven't talked about Jack Bech yet. Jack Bech is I saw him on the media day. Dude is freaking jacked. I saw a film of him. He loves when corners press him because he just grabs him and throws him on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, you want to block me? Okay, that's fine. They don't want to do that. The DBs don't want to do that. So
yeah,
I like what we're doing here. Of course, this is an optimistic view of the, I don't want to say the top output of these players, but the most optimistic outlook in their arc as rookies. But even just average play from what they've shown in the past and their attributes, it's going to be an upgrade from what we had last season.
Take all the rookies out. Take for the sake of argument, take all the rookies out. Geno Smith, established fringe top 10.
Yeah, that's already better.
Brock Bowers, best tight end in football. Jacoby Myers, most underrated wide receiver in football. Right? Just take Michael Mayer, still a good tight end when his head's straight. Trey Tucker, still faster than probably anybody on the field. Just take what we know for sure. Not even optimistic. Just what we know for sure. And you're like, and then Chip Kelly on top of all that and Pete Carroll on top of all that. That by itself is above average offense. That is an above average offense in the NFL. Just what we know for absolutely sure. And that's assuming Ashton Jeanty's a bust. Bech is a bust. Thornton's a bust, right?
Injuries, whatever,
right? Just what we know for sure. And none of those guys are injury prone, right?
We haven't talked about Tommy Millott either, who is a guy
all the rookies out for sake of argument. They're rookies, who knows, right?
It's weird what one or two one or two changes on a team completely changes the outlook. We're not going to be scoring 18 points a game this year. I'll tell you that.
If any of the rookies pan out, this is a good just one. We just need one for sake of argument, right? Just for like, hey, they're rookies. Who knows? Whatever, right? They're unknown commodities. If just one of them pans out, we're cream cheese, right? And what are the odds Ashton Jeanty just like sucks in the NFL, right? Like, what are the odds that's going to happen? Offense is going to be fun, man. Again, I said it for the last month and a half. If the O-line doesn't drag this team down, we're going to put up some points. Put up some serious points. We talk about OTA observations, just a couple things. And the OTA observations, the beat writers know what they're doing when they say Thornton beat a double team, cut a touchdown. That gets a lot of retweets, a lot of talk. You know what I mean? To me, it's less about plays on the field because, again, they're not wearing pads. They're still learning what's going on. To me, it's what the coaches are doing with the guys on there. So we mentioned we'll bring back in Colt Miller. He's there. He kind of didn't do some of the optional stuff a month ago. Just hey guys, I want an extension. He's there. That's not a hype. He beat a third string defensive end. He looked so good, and some beat writers tweeting it. He's tangibly there when most guys in his situation are holding out. Another thing, Jacorian Bennett was doing a lot of third, second team, and now he's doing more first team. That's a big deal. Jacorian Bennett's doing that. And then Cody Lindenberg.
There's a few guys out there. Go ahead. Sorry.
And then Cody Lindenberg was getting a lot of mic work. So again, that to me is a little bigger because that's the coaches saying, I want these guys here. I want this guy in the third. This guy starting. That to me is a lot bigger than the kind of the fluffy hype. This guy. Oh no, Geno threw a pick in practice. Gives a fuck. It's practice. You're taking risks. You're trying to find tight windows. You're feeling, I'm going to lead over this shoulder. Now I'll do it over the other shoulder on this play. I don't give a fuck. That's fun. I get it. But the tangible stuff is what I care about the most. And those are three big tangible moves.
You really get to see, it's going to start to kind of fall into place, and you get to really get a closer look of what these coaches think of the players. And you know, it all starts with getting reps in practice. That's the first thing, is you want to get more reps. You want to show what you can do. I remember I go back to one of the first interviews that we did was with AJ Hawk, and he said the reason why a lot of these players play and practice hurt is they don't want the coaches to get used to seeing other players on the field. They want to make sure that the coaches still see them on the field, not other players. So you get these guys going in there and they're fighting for reps, and you see these guys getting reps. That's where it starts. That's where jobs changes. It starts with reps and practice.
Every signed player on the squad, regardless of injury status, contract status, position, suited up and practiced, with the exception of Christian Wilkins, which is obviously the thorn in the side of everything. But everyone else was there. Kuntz coming off injuries there, Crosby coming off injuries there, Colton in his contract situation, Jacoby in his contract situation, all there. Every single player, minus the big black eye will be like paying attention to. Everyone's there, which is big. That's the OTA stuff I care about.
For sure, man. That's the most important stuff. That's when you see, like I was talking about, that's when you see the coaching coming out. That's when you see the trust of the players who have, especially the players on the Raiders. They've been through a lot of coaches. They've seen and heard it all from these guys. And for those guys to really put their stamp of like, yeah, Pete knows what he's doing, man. I'm buying into what he's saying. Definitely.
The big addition today, pretty big. I mean, it's kind of quiet news time, but pretty big news for us because this is what we've been looking for a while. Germaine Pratt signing a 1-year deal worth up to $4.78 million with the Raiders. For those who don't know him, played with the Bengals for a while. Played all 17 games last season, coming off a career high 143. I love you. Tackles to go along with 2 picks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. This is what we've been asking for. The linebackers are super, super young. We now got a 29-year-old veteran that he was cut for a reason, or not cut, but didn't pick up his contract for a reason. But he's a veteran that knows what he's doing, and we desperately needed that in the linebacking room.
I was very optimistic about our linebacking core. There were a lot of guys that had a lot to prove, but looking at it with more perspective, when guys have a lot to prove, that means there's some question marks on them, right? Mm-hmm. And I think we talked about it. Can Elandon Roberts go back to previous form from 2 years ago? There's a reason why the Steelers spent all that money on Patrick Queen, because they wanted an upgrade at that position. And Patrick Queen is a better linebacker than Elandon Roberts. It's not to fool each other, but they wanted an upgrade, and they got one. And there's a reason why Devin White bounced around. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why Jalen Smith wasn't on the team last year. There's a reason for that. Now, if they get up to form and we get not the best, but a good enough version of them, they're talented enough players to be a decent linebacking core. But again, you're having to get each one of these guys to kind of perform at a level where you haven't shown you consistently in quite some time. You get a Germaine Pratt coming in and instantly becomes the best linebacker on the team.
Signing Germaine Pratt and this contract tells me a couple things. One, I think they have the same mindset we did, where it's like, let's get a veteran in there. Like, we have tons of cap space. Let's start using a little bit of it, right? We need a veteran presence. Unlike wide receiver, we desperately need wide receiver depth, but I'm fine with not adding it right now because I'd rather Thornton or Bech or one of our rookies get the reps and the playing time than some guy we're renting, some 27-year-old veteran we're renting for 1 year, $5 million, right? Like, is he going to be better than our rookies? There's a good chance. But again, I think this is kind of more of a 2-year rebuild than a 1. Give the and not just game time reps, but OTA reps, preseason reps, practice reps. Like, you add one more veteran wide receiver, it's like, hey, Rook, I'm taking this one, and they take it, right? I'd much rather give it to the rookies because we have a veteran presence with Jacoby Myers, and we have other targets, right? Brock Bowers on a receiver, but Ashton Jeanty on a receiver, but blah blah blah. Linebacker, we don't have that. We didn't have any like solid veterans the younger guys can look up to, follow his habits, follow his guidance. Germaine Pratt is 100% that. A veteran savvy presence that had 143 tackles last season.
He also had 2 picks, 2 fumble recoveries, and 2 forced fumbles. Mm-hmm. And that is a Pete Carroll defense. If you can't turn the ball over, you don't play for Pete Carroll. He expects you, like, going out there, knowing your job, being a sure tackler, all that stuff, that's just to get in the door. You need to be able to turn the ball over to play for Pete on defense.
And I'm starting to see what the game plan is at linebacker. You got 3 dudes on 1-year deals, right? Germaine Pratt, Landon Roberts, Devin White. Very, very low basement, very, very high ceiling guys. Like, you look at each one of these guys' best years and what they're capable of. If they play like that moving forward, that's borderline Pro Bowl, right? Like, if they're playing like Devin White was all pro, right? If he played at his absolute best, we know what that ceiling is. It's enormous. When Landon Roberts got opportunities, played pretty well. So basically what they're doing is they're taking a shot at 3 guys with really, really high ceilings. You just need one of them. You just need one of them to hit, and the rest of our guys to develop. Tommy Eichenberg, Cody Lindenberg. You just need one of these guys to play. All the Bergs, right? Just give me the Bergs. Give me Andy Berg. What was that? That Chael Sonnen line? Anderson Silva or Vanderlei Silva. Give me a Silva. Bigfoot Silva. I don't care. Give me a Silva. Give me a Berg. Right?
I like that line from Swingers. He's like, Glenn Fittich, Glenn Levy, any Glenn.
And give me a Glenn. Kind of the same thing here, right? Like, and again, this again makes me more think to your plan. Let's throw all 3 of these 1-year linebackers in there. See which one fits. See which one still got it. See which one wants it the most. See which one still has the most tread on the tires. You only need one of these guys to pan out, right? And then you've got hopefully he doesn't pan out so well where he's a $10 million a year linebacker and we lose him again. But just pan out enough where it's like, okay, we got our starting Mike, and then a Berg or someone else will develop and be our other one, and we got our starting linebacker. So I get the plan at linebacker now. I understand what they're trying to do.
And getting a Germaine Pratt kind of rounds it out. Before it's like, you kind of wish you're on a star here. But getting Germaine Pratt, he's a legit player still in his prime that has done it like last season. So it wasn't like he had a down year or he was injured or whatever. No, he's still that guy. So he kind of gives you the opportunity to be able to kind of have that sit back and wait and let everyone else kind of like be those crabs clawing at the top of the bucket, because you already have Germaine Pratt and you just need a guy that's serviceable next to him, because Germaine Pratt is going to be your best linebacker.
And Patrick Graham has made far worse linebackers into far better. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's taken some pretty raw, pretty whatever linebackers and put them in a scheme to succeed and be big deals. So it's just a numbers game, right? You have more bets on the craps table. It's more likely for one of them to hit, right? We had 2 flyers at linebacker. We took a third who's really he's not really not a flyer. He's an established quality starting linebacker in the NFL.
Who, Roberts?
You've got no, Pratt.
Oh.
Pratt. Yeah, right. So you got 2 flyers and then an established guy. You just need one of them to pan out.
Well, 3 flyers actually. You got Jalen Smith too.
And then Geno Smith, right? Another, what was he? $1 million.
If Jalen Smith can be anywhere near what because he took that route where let me take a year off and get fully healthy, because he never really was able to get fully healthy. So we'll see.
We're spending less than $10 million on the 4 most likely to start inside linebackers. Just need 1 or 2 of them to pan out. Right, Princess?
Oh,
are you talking about the linebackers again? Oh, because Daddy's doing his show right now. Oh. Okay, I'll do your hair. I'll cut most of this out.
Yeah. Why? The best part of the show so far.
You guys want to see how to do a ponytail on a 5-year-old with very curly hair? So the trick is, because she has such curly frizzy hair, you have to do a braid. Otherwise, when she wakes up in the morning, it's just a curl of the bill all over the place. So you got to do one solid braid to keep everything tamed. That's the key. So starting the braid over the hardest. There. Boom. Boom. Shakalaka. Slide over. Right over.
I remember waking up in the morning and my mom just beating my sister with a brush because she went to bed with wet hair, and she just woke up with the freaking rat's nest in her head.
Dude, we got the satin sheets. We tie a braid. I say we, but the wife's out with the ladies, out with the girls tonight. So dad didn't do it because he just forgot. Frankie, what's the best football team in the world? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Who? Raiders. How do you say it though? Raiders. Okay, I love you. Go Raiders. Go to bed. Close the door. I love you. And that's parenting at the Cliffords.
And action.
Let's see. So what to do with the remaining cap space? Because we got it. And if you don't use it, you lose it. Sort of. $36.8 million. I didn't dare to do the math because you have to use like 89% of it over a 4-year period. I wasn't gonna do that math over that span. But we got the 6th most in football, right? Just picked up a veteran linebacker that we needed. But our 2 biggest things we were asking
for, like $5
for,
million.
Right? Yeah, I really went from 6 to
we got
probably
a starting linebacker for $5 million.
If all incentives are reached, he's probably gonna end up costing us 3, right? Again, our top 4 linebackers are under 10 million.
5. Hit all those.
So now I want a veteran DB. That's what I want. I think a veteran. I want a version of Germaine Pratt in our DB room. Someone like that, veteran presence, a guy that's like solidified, but maybe like with Pratt, he was like I guess a missed tackle machine last season. That's kind of why they let him go. It's like, yeah, we need to save money, and we think his form tackling is not that great. There's gonna be a reason why these guys are available, right? Someone like that in our DB room, Soto. Do you have your eye on anybody?
I mean, there's the obvious, but I don't know that. It's just difficult, man, because I am not really that big on bringing in big money DBs that are already like 30.
Yeah,
that's just the margins are just so slim on the outside with the offenses these days, and I don't know, man. I don't like overpaying for that type of stuff, and I don't know that we can get anybody on a Pratt type deal at DB. I mean, comparably, $5 million if all incentives are reached would probably be closer to $10 million if all incentives are reached if you're a DB. But you're going to get a quality DB for $10 million. Like I don't think so.
I think the value is there, and let me tell you why. Because you're right, it's different. Like linebackers are different than DB. But there's a couple things. One, I think they would like to play for Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham. I think there's a little bit of an incentive there. Again, they're not going to go from 10 million and do it for 3, but there's some incentive there, right? We're like, maybe I'll take a little bit less because I can reignite my career under, we just had 2 DBs get a lot of money elsewhere in Patrick Graham's system, right? They got a ton of, we think they were super overpaid, but there's a reason why, because they played good enough on a bad defense to get big money, right? It's like, so there's some incentive there between Patrick Graham and Pete Carroll. And 2, I think their skill set will bleed into the room because it's all young guys, all unproven young. Chin's proven, but basically unproven young guys in the DB room. So you're not just paying him $8 million to be a corner, you're also paying him to be kind of an assistant coach as well. So you're 100% right. Like it's not going to be like the linebacker situation is going to cost, but I think there's more value to it than just simply, the numbers of tackles and passes defended this season. And we have $36 million in cap space.
Yeah. It's difficult. I would hang off probably until the late cuts, barring any type of injury, of course, in training camp or preseason. But I would look at the late cuts to see if we can get a similar guy who isn't maybe a tippy top guy who's going to want tippy top money at the corner position, but a guy that's still good that for whatever reason fell out of favor in his current, I don't know. I don't know what the hell the Bengals are doing, dude. Honestly, like they won't pay they won't pay Hendrickson. They won't pay him. He's like the best sack guy the last 2 years in a row. Okay, they won't pay him his money, number one. Then the guy that they drafted in the first round to replace him, they're not guaranteeing all of his money on his contract when everybody else in the league is. I don't know what they're doing, dude. And then they got rid of Germaine Pratt because he wanted a new deal, and they just cut him because we don't want to give you that money even though you're still under contract. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know.
I like how before they
I don't really care, but it just doesn't make sense.
I like how before they extended anybody, they paid their tight end. It was like 11th on the team in importance.
If they would have just paid Chase when they were supposed to, they would have saved themselves like $15 million a year. But they waited, and then and your boy Myles Garrett gets paid. And they're like, ugh.
Hey, look, I like how someone else is the Raiders now, where they're just like poorly managed, and everyone else gets to pick their carcass. What was that? What Andrew Dice Clay say in the Entourage? We do the fucking, not fucking. We do the fucking. What we're doing around here,
dude. It's so easy. You going if you know it's a guy that you want to re-sign. Okay, sign him now. Make that first year so the same as it would have been if you hadn't re-signed him to an extension. Keep that first year the same, and then just maybe give him a bonus or something that's not on the cap. But it doesn't make sense, dude. It doesn't make sense. But whatever, they want to do that. It helps. It helped us in this case.
I think there's enough like guys that fit the mold at corner. That will end up with one of them.
There should be.
Jair Alexander,
one,
right? Jair Alexander.
Jair's gonna want big money, dude.
He's gonna want big money.
Yeah, and he's always hurt too.
So that's what I'm saying. He's always hurt. So like he can want big money all day long, but like Stephon Gilmore's been around, like just floating around in free agency, right? Like if they're not gonna, Gilmore's older, but he's healthier, like stays more productive than Alexander.
Let's be real,
floating around.
You only need one season to really kind of kick that injury bug thing. So if you're healthy for one season, then people stop talking about it. So Jair Alexander only needs to come back and play for one full season, and then people are going to stop thinking about him as being like an injury prone player.
And that's the 1 year rental, the 1 year prove it deal that we can get out of one of these guys, right? Like Koontz.
Makes sense to me.
What I mean? Like we can get him for $8 million, 1 year prove it with some incentives.
He was making like almost 30, dude. He was making 20, 24, 25. He ain't gonna get up for 8.
He's missed half his games.
He's gonna go for 12-ish minimum, probably closer to 15.
Stephon Gilmore, what would you pay for his services? Veteran.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't think he fits the mold of what Pete Carroll wants, man.
He's old as shit, but a veteran.
Yeah, but he's not fast. He's not long. He's not tall. He would not fit the mold of the defense. You can't just switch him out with another player because he plays differently. You need to get somebody in the similar mold of what Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham are looking for out of their DBs. I don't know that he's going to be a guy that can jump in there and play the same style.
Shaquill Griffin visited the Raiders today.
That can be.
That one's much cheaper than those two.
A lot more sense.
Much cheaper. He might be like a chin deal, 2 years. I can see him getting like a 2 year deal.
Pete trusts him. Pete drafted him. Pete trusts him. He knows what he gets in him. He may not be the best guy out there, but he knows he can be trusted with what you give him. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be on the outside on the island or anything like that. But I mean, what you do give him, he's going to do it well. He's a good tackler.
He was productive last season. Really, really productive. Just give me a veteran DB. Give me
That's probably the best one.
We'll be set.
That's probably the best one.
Ready to do some what are Windbags?
Yeah, let's get it done.
Funky Hair Man. I guarantee this guy's like 58 years old. Maybe I'm wrong. Funky Hair Man. Strelp can have ratings using surf and turf references like 5 meat curtains or 2 Gavichis. Last show, I had an idea for Strelp, Strip Club Yelp. And I think it's got some legs, man. It is a very underserved market. There is no place, there's no accurate website to go to figure out exactly what type of strip club experience you're looking for. It doesn't exist. You just have to ask your buddies and hope that they're not misleading you.
I don't know, man. I think that there's a lot of turnover in these places. So if you go looking for a certain person, they're not there. I think it's going to be a little tough.
There's a lot of turnover, but they have a type, right? It's like a Pete Carroll defense. You know, there might be a lot of turnover, but you've got a type. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you don't mind stab wounds and C-section scars, you go to this spot right over here.
Yeah. Like her name went from Misty to Candy, but you're dealing with the same style of player. You know, it's the same player profile.
She still smells like vanilla cookies and glitter.
The name on the back changes, but the name on the front with the helmet on and shoulder pads, it looks the same type of thing.
You can get down with that.
Jaws 6455, young Mark Davis taped to the goalpost in the movie.
I doubt it's in there, but it should be.
That would be, hey, if that director has a sack, he would incorporate that into the movie. That would be too good. Just a super gingery, like 13.
Just get a Bucky Larson looking dude. Oh boy!
I can't wait for that movie to come out, dude. I
know it's gonna be. It's still in the in shooting, right? There's still in production right now.
Oh no, it's like just barely started.
Oh god, just damn it! We got at least a year.
We got a while. We got a long while, but it's got everything. The cast, the director,
it has everything. Story.
It can't possibly screw this up. Can't possibly.
No, not with not with Bale and Cage, dude. Those guys are freaking solid.
Yeah, and the American Hustle director who had Bale in that, like, it's like, dude, the worst. I predicting the worst it could be is Gladiator 2, when you have the same director, actor, like premise. It was still good. Like the expectations were super high. I still enjoyed it. Just wasn't Gladiator 1. Like that's the basement for this this movie. Absolute basement is Gladiator 2. Sam DeMann, thank you so much for being a member. Soto stopped drinking? Not good, bro. And then he responded again, are you going to keep it up during the season? Soto, a dry 2025-2026 Raiders football season.
I was dry last year.
Whole season? No.
Oh, yeah?
You're the one that wanted us to do drinking games on the live shows.
We did, and we never did.
So if we would have, so you'll drink for money, but you won't drink for pleasure.
No.
Neither. You're doing dry no matter what.
No. I mean, it's like a it's not like an incentive thing for me or anything like that. Like I can go without it, no problem.
Me too. I can quit whenever I want to. I just don't want to.
Yeah, for sure.
So
like I mean,
no attic effort.
if like on Saturday, okay. I was at my chick's family reunion, right? They have family reunion, and everyone was doing a shot. I took a shot with everybody. I'm not a prude or anything like that. I just choose not to drink it because I don't need to.
Okay. Got it.
Like I will, like if everyone's like, okay, I'm gonna take one shot, everyone let's go together, and I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I don't drink. Like, no, it's like, yeah, I'll have a shot with you guys.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Or like I sit down, like someone invites me to their house and they're watching the fights and they crack me open a beer and hand it to me. I'm not gonna be like, no. I'm gonna be like, oh, I'll have this one with you, and that's it.
Got it.
I'm not like out there just freaking,
Got
it. Dicks.
Okay. So you are drinking, but like not drinking.
I'm not drinking.
You'll have a drink. You're not drinking. You'll have a drink. I'm
not going to be rude about it.
Got it.
I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to, like, if If someone's like, oh, come on, do another shot. Like, all right, no, dude, I already did one with you. That's it. I already bought it for you. Great. No, you can have two. I'm not going to have it.
Is that the same with like cocaine? Like if I offered you a bump, you'll be like, well, I'm not going to be rude.
Dude,
I'm not doing
stepped on
cocaine.
shit that you get. I'm not touching that, dude. That's
I
going to
don't
give you the
do
diarrhea.
cocaine, but I'll do cocaine.
If I just
Yeah,
happen to have a sniffle and there's some there,
don't want to be rude.
I don't want to be rude. How dare I?
You want to be a rude prude.
You took your key out for nothing?
All right, that's it for us. Yeah, we'll enter the Sahara Desert next season with not a whole lot going on.
Next week, you mean?
Yeah, next week. This is why you don't drink. It's basically you're basically on performance enhancing drugs as a podcaster by not drinking.
Pretty much.
It's like it's unfair. Like we need USADA to test you to make sure that you're drinking.
Oh, it's unfair.
It's unfair. You're cheating. It's like taking taking
cheating?
steroids. It's like taking steroids.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it is. It's cheating.
I mean,
I told
we'll see how this season turns out. If this season, with all the promise, if this season turns funky, yeah, then I'll probably start drinking again.
Dude, I keep every time I tell people, I'm like, you know what? I think like, there's hope for the future now. It's like a good setup. They're like, oh yeah, like okay, the Raiders, like the last 20 years, you've been saying the same thing. First of all, no, I haven't. I've gone into most seasons being like, not our year. Let's hope for the best. Let's develop some guys. Like, let's hope for the best, right? Went through most seasons in the last 20 years. I've said that. But this is also the first year where the buck doesn't stop with Mark Davis. Now it starts with a whole new regime. So it's like this. It feels different. It does feel different. I might have said that before on these very airwaves, and if I'm a hypocrite and contradicting myself, so be it. It genuinely feels different.
Again, like I like to be optimistic. I always, especially when it's about the Raiders, I like to be optimistic unless there's something glaring looking at me like this is bad. But I can be objective and say we don't have to squint this season. Mm-hmm. We don't have to squint at these guys are they that good? No, we have legitimate upgrades at key positions on this team, and the players that we have coming in both in free agency and in the draft, they fit a mold and a plan that you can see it formulated together. It's not just a mishmash of a bunch of different people.
But ownership, front office, coaching staff, and offense. You don't have to, and special teams. You don't have to, the zero squint. Again, like we said at the very beginning of the show, just purely on what we know for sure on offense. It's going to be a handful. It's going to be a handful for most defensive coordinators. That's assuming all the wild cards. If you, Ashton Jeanty, Thornton, Bech, Michael Mayer, like assuming these guys, all wild cards, fairly, right? Rookies or whatever, or, coming off kind of a weird season with Mayer. Just for sure's, Chip, Pete, Geno, Brock, Jacoby. Like,
you know what I saw today? Ashton Jeanty is ranked as RB2 in almost every fantasy league out there.
Ahead of Christian McCaffrey. I'm assuming Saquon's number one. Right?
Saquon's number one, and he's
ahead of Christian McCaffrey.
Uh-huh.
It's weird because, like, I was hearing our boy Adam Hill, and he made a really good point. He's like, we're all like jerking ourselves off over Brock Bowers.
Adam Hill, dude. Hang on a second. In the OTA pressers, I saw him one day just sitting back there, and he's kind of like trying to get off camera, but he's like totally in camera the whole time. And then sometimes you just see his hand and his stomach. It's all you see in frame.
He's a hard guy to hide. He's big, tall, dude. Big. He's a big boy.
His stomach wasn't as big as it looked like, but he was leaning back, so you couldn't see his face. You just saw his torso and his hand with his phone on.
His upper body moved out of frame, but his gut stayed in the same spot. Just like trying to.
It was pretty funny because I'm like, I know that dude. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to. You said his name and it popped into my head.
Do you listen to him and Vinnie Bonsignore's podcasts?
Yes.
Dude, I thought you and I were passively aggressive against each other. Listening to those two, like, I'm not bearing them because I don't know the ins. I don't know Vinny for shit. Never. I was on his show twice, his radio show a couple times. Never met him. Never talked to him. Adam, we know pretty well. But I never talked about their relationship. So I'm not speaking out of turn. I'm not saying anything that's been told to me in confidence. But those two hate each other just by how they interact on the podcast. It's super passive aggressive and just like, well, actually, I know it's like, but this, like, well, actually, what I was saying was,
dude,
it's fun.
Either they really hate each other, or they're like super close buddies, like, and they're just like trolling each other and all of us. Either way, it's amazing.
I think it's a super entertaining, simmering animosity.
It almost gets uncomfortable at times because you're just like,
that's what I was saying. Like, is this what like I thought we did that to each other? Those two guys take it to another level. Like, and it's way more passive aggressive. Like, we'll blow up on each other at times.
Well, they can't, because they are legitimate freaking media guys that are going to lose their jobs. Okay?
Losers,
bunch of dorks.
They're career actual journalists, not two schmucks sitting in their houses.
That's for Quakers.
What movie is that from? That's in the comment section. All right, that's it for us. Talk to you guys next week. Until then, knock on wood if you're with me. Hey, you made it to the end of our video. Great job. I know you want more. Go ahead and click the next video. And if you're feeling crazy, go ahead and subscribe.